Welcome to SMU Look. I'm Meredith Wellborn.
And I'm Shelby Fishman.
We are kicking off every show this season with our team's Instagram pick of the week.
This week, we are highlighting the SMU Fashion Media Program's brand new Instagram. Follow us for an inside look into the program and its curriculum. You'll see highlights of star students, information on courses, and so much more.
I love that we have another platform to show off all the fun things we do in class.
Yeah, I love seeing their new updates.
It's so much fun. Today, we are bringing you all things DIY beauty and cooking. We also have a report on a groovy spring trend that is taking the fashion world by storm.
Plus, we give you an inside look into sorority recruitment, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's an episode you won't want to miss.
So come take a look at SMU Look. In need of some face mask inspiration? You might want to take a look closer to home. SMU Look's McCoy Hutchison gives us two amazing DIY face mask recipes made straight from ingredients in your kitchen.
Face masks can be expensive, but what if I told you that you can make your own right at home? I have two simple face masks that will make your skin feel amazing and take less than 5 minutes to make.
The ingredients for the first mask are a tablespoon of honey, half of an avocado, and a handful of oats. The avocado will banish any roughness because of its ultra-nourishing oils. Honey helps skin retain moisture without feeling oily, and oats have healing and moisturizing properties. This mask is perfect for hydrating and nourishing your skin. Wash it off with warm water after 15 minutes for silky smooth skin. The next ingredients are cacao powder, 1/4 of a papaya, and a squeeze of aloe vera. The papaya is packed with exfoliating enzymes that dissolve dead skin cells. The cacao powder boosts circulation for a pillowy look, and the aloe vera will leave your skin feeling bright and smooth. This mask is perfect for anyone looking for an amazing glow. Leave on for 10 minutes and wash off. Don't forget to cover and refrigerate for later use. For SMU Look TV, I'm McCoy Hutchison.
Thanks for that great reminder that you don't always need to pay the big bucks to achieve flawless skin.
Summer is right around the corner, aka swimsuit season. But don't worry, I've got you covered on how to achieve hot girl summer right in your dorm room. Here are two microwave-friendly and low-carb and keto recipes to get you ready. Want to eat healthy in your dorm room and even lose a few pounds? Here are a few keto-friendly and low-carb mug recipes you can make in a microwave from your dorm room. First, if you're craving something sweet but don't want to consume a load of sugar and carbs, this keto vanilla berry cake is perfect for you. Next, if you want a quick and super easy egg breakfast but don't want to deal with the pan, this omelet in a mug is a great choice, and it's extremely low in carbs. Both of these recipes are easy to make and are good for you. The vanilla berry cake has just 5 grams of net carbs and only 3 grams of sugar. The egg recipe has only 2 grams of net carbs and 0 grams of sugar. For SMU Look, I'm Shelby Fishman. It was so easy for me to whip up those recipes and they were so delicious. You can check out more low-carb recipes at dietdoctor.com.
You know, there's nothing quite like a tan to cheer you up during the chilly winter months. SMU Looks' Isabella Mejia is here with a few tips and tricks to get the perfect natural tan. No summer sun needed.
We all love to be tan. What we don't love is an orange, streaky fake tan. Here are some of the tips and tricks I've accumulated after years of trial and error for the perfect, natural, sunless tan. First, exfoliate, exfoliate, and exfoliate. Exfoliating before your tan will make sure your skin is ready for the tan, and it will ensure you don't get streaks. Second, moisturize. Moisturizing your ankles, knees, and feet is important because they are normally the driest places on your body. For the tan to look natural, you want to be as moisturized as possible. Third, use a mid applicator to get the perfect tan. A good option is to get a bundle on Amazon that will have an exfoliator and a tanning mitt. This will cost you around $10. Some of the best tanners I've tried are the Saint-Tropez Mousse for $42, Loving Tan Deluxe for $46, or if you want a cheaper option, the Jergens Instant Sun will run you for about $11 a bottle. These bottles can last months compared to one spray tan that can cost up to $100. Apply in circular motions and make sure not to miss anything. Use what's left on the mitt to apply to feet, ankles, knees, hands, and elbows. You don't want a lot of tan in those places. Finally, to keep your tan as fresh as possible, keep moisturizing after showering, pat dry, and start exfoliating in the shower to get rid of any streaks. For SMU Look TV, I'm Isabella Mejia.
Thank you, Isabella, for those tips and tricks to make our sunless tans look flawless.
It's no secret on the SMU campus that sorority recruitment can be competitive and intense. SMU Looks' Audrey Johnson has this report.
Many women who come to college dream of joining a sorority for reasons such as sisterhood, philanthropy, and leadership. Some students even choose universities over others based on the Greek life on campus. Unlike many colleges, SMU rushes in the spring. Some benefits of Spring Rush include making friends in the fall without the confines of the Greek system and getting a sense of which house you feel like you fit into. However, some feel that Spring Rush leaves more time for potential new members to be scrutinized, and unfair advantages to those who have in-house connections. Haley Minnick rushed this spring and decided to withdraw from the process.
And I just was like, this isn't really for me. I was like, why am I going into something that, like, you're just going in to pay for friends, and these are friends that, you know, judged you beforehand and aren't really and they're not really getting to know you. Like, you only get like 10 minutes with a person, and like they're judging you based off of those 10 minutes when you could be getting to know them on a different level, you know? And so I was like, this just isn't for me. I was like, I don't have the time or energy to sit and put effort into something where I'm not going to get that same effort back. It just wasn't for me, so.
While Haley believed Greek life in general was not the right fit for her, other girls decide to withdraw because they are not asked back by their favorite houses, despite having other houses still interested in them. According to Panhellenic Council, the actual number of women not asked back by any houses is in the single digits.
So I think one of the biggest things is concerning pledge class. So I think so often everyone says, oh, pledge class, you have 60 spots in each chapter. But pledge class is based off of how many women are in the process on bid day, on preference round. So if you have 600 women in the process on preference round, there would be 600 spots between all the chapters. So I think that's one of the biggest things is they say 600 girls are going through recruitment, but we only have 400 spots. I hear that so often, and every time I have to correct it because it's not true. So it's how many women you have bases your pledge class number. So
Withdrawing from the process can be a heartbreaking decision, leading some women to even transfer schools as a result. But those who are resilient decide to rush again. Kelsey Hodge is one of them.
When it didn't work out the first time, I knew that it wasn't because of me. Like, I knew there was nothing wrong with me. I think I had enough self-confidence to know that, like, oh, I could still be a part of something like that, because I did make it all the way to pref the first time around. So it was like, and I had gone to the house that it's like, oh, like, I should be hearing, like, people in the house, you know, feeling a connection with them and knowing, like, no, those are my people. I'm supposed to be there. Just because it didn't work out this first time, if you stick by it, like try it again and do it again.
Websites like Greek Rank promote a social hierarchy of the houses, leading many women to have misconceptions and form stereotypes around them. The website is a breeding ground for hateful gossip and misinformation.
It is a place where people who literally have no idea about the process go. And so that's what's really frustrating, like from my end, and like especially with all the rogue gammas, is like we give them the information they need to tell P&Ms when they have questions. And so it's always hard because P&Ms would rather go to Greek Rank and like get their answers rather than talk to a person on Panhellenic that is actually knowledgeable.
One of the most common rumors is the importance of legacy. While having legacy can give you a leg up in many houses, the significance depends on the house and is confidential. Kelsey Hodge says that being on the other side of the process has opened her eyes to some of the reasons it didn't work out for her the first year.
Being on the other side of recruitment, it made me realize, like, okay, Kelsey, that's why it didn't work out your freshman year, because you weren't going on rush dates. And people just didn't know that you wanted to go through recruitment.
Sororities are not everything, but they can be a great way to make friends and be more involved with your community. To the girls who are thinking of rushing again at SMU, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. If you have questions concerning recruitment, email SMU Panhellenic at panhellenic@smu.edu. For SMU Look, I'm Audrey Johnson.
Thank you, Audrey, and thank you for being here with your special guest, Kelsey Hodge.
During their interview, Kelsey talked to Audrey about her recruitment experience as a woman of color. Kelsey is here with Audrey to share more about how we can make sororities more inclusive.
Yeah, so Kelsey and I have been friends since our freshman year. We met in Belltones 4 years ago, and we both rushed our sophomore year, and we were always really honest and vulnerable with each other, and part of that was sharing a little bit of your experience as a woman of color rushing. And when I did this package, I knew you were the perfect person to talk to. And I'm so happy we can have you here to really talk about it and talk about how we can make it better here on the SMU campus.
Yes, I am so glad to be here having this conversation with you all. I think this is such an important topic, and I can't wait to just dive right into it.
Yes. So can you tell everyone a little bit more about your experience rushing and going to these houses, deciding not to do multicultural, and maybe not even seeing anyone of color in a certain sorority house, or any houses for that matter?
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to think about the history of Greek life, and that it is based on a history of exclusivity, and the reason why multicultural Greek organizations were formed, or Black sororities, fraternities were formed because of that. They were formed because of that exclusivity. And so, but it's 2020, and we want things to be different, and there are so many women out there that want to have this experience, specifically at SMU. And I know for me, I didn't have really anything to look back on in my life, because none of my family members were a part of Greek life, let alone Panhellenic sororities. And so I was already starting the process at a disadvantage, because I didn't know how things were supposed to work in your fall, especially at a school like SMU where we have deferred recruitment. I didn't know that you should be meeting people, you should be talking to people, you should make sure that people know who you are. And I think that was one of the things that really set me back my first year here at SMU.
Yeah, and one of the things that you said during our interview, which I thought was really moving, was even though you didn't see any representation in the sororities, you said you never backed down from that, because you've always lived by the idea of, be the change that you want to see. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really amazing. And then you also said that now being on the other side of it, you see how, the houses have to take responsibility of including these women, going out there and making sure that we want to include them in the Greek system.
Yes, it's kind of a hard conversation to have, because you're immediately deciding, okay, who do we place blame on? But I don't think it's necessarily blame, it's more so responsibility. And the responsibility has to be on both sides. I always think when it comes to people being oppressed or disadvantaged, it isn't their responsibility to always make sure that they're let into the room, but it is their responsibility to at least knock on the door. And then those people that have the power, they need to be willing to open that door. And here at SMU, in Greek life, when it comes to women of color wanting to be a part of these organizations, they have been knocking on the door, and we just have to make sure that we're listening on the other side.
Exactly, yes. And is there any way that, what would be your advice to a woman of color who does want to knock on the door?
knock as loudly as possible. Don't let fear discourage you. I always say lean into the discomfort, because you will walk into these rooms and not see anybody that looks like you. And representation is so important. And if you think that you want to be a part of something like this, don't let the fact that you don't see anybody else that looks like you stop you. Be that change, because if you don't, who else will?
And thank you so much for joining us.
Your words are so inspiring. We loved having you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the 60s. I've found some Dallas stores that have been keeping SMU students updated on a hot spring trend. Take a look.
As the weather is heating up here in Dallas, people are beginning to shed their winter wardrobes and opt for a more fun approach to spring fashion. Harper's Bazaar is calling 60s-inspired patterns one of the top 12 trends for spring 2020. These bold prints have been sweeping the runway and now the stores around campus. Blue Jean Baby is located on Hillcrest Avenue right next to campus. From the polka dots to the florals, Blue Jean Baby is stocked with this trend. They also have a wide array of other vintage pieces. El Bartlett is located in the heart of Snyder Plaza. They too have a wide array of not only 60s patterns but also bell-bottoms and fun glasses to get you feeling groovy. Dear Hannah is about a block away, and they have no shortage of 60s-inspired fashion. Did someone say tie-dye? For SMU Look, I'm Meredith Wellborn.
Some great looks. Do you think you'll get your 60s on this spring?
Absolutely. I love the polka dot trend right now.
And I hear there's something special about the music in your story.
Yeah, my friend Will is a musician in Nashville, and the song that was in my story, it's called Better, and it just came out, so it's really exciting.
That's awesome. Well, that does it for our second show of Season 6.
Thanks for watching. From all of us here at The Look, we'll see you next time.
SMU TV and the Division of Journalism want to thank our underwriters: Javier's Gourmet Mexicano on Cole Avenue, Advance ER off West Lovers Lane, Tootsie's of Dallas in the Plaza at Preston Center, and North Park Center in Dallas. We appreciate your support of student media.